What is up, everybody? It is Alex the Boogeyman here, Midweek Musing. Alrighty, in this midweek, got a little bit of a musing for you about combinations, throwing punches and combinations. Sometimes you hear people talk about realistic combinations and combinations that aren't so realistic. So I don't necessarily like that word realistic, right? I think there are combinations that are more common, right? Of course, simple, classic, fundamental jab, cross, hook, jab the body, overhand, hook, cross, hook, uppercut, upper hook cross. These are thrown a lot, very common. So you could say they're realistic, they're effective, right? That's one reason I've thrown a lot. But when we break down fights, when you watch fights, you really break down the punches that are being thrown, sometimes you'll see stuff that will surprise you. You'll see combinations that maybe don't seem as logical if we don't practice much. Of course, you'll see longer combinations as well. Maybe somebody's on the ropes, maybe they're shelled up, maybe they're hurt, and they're trying to finish the fight. You'll see that a lot. In any case, though, the reason why we throw punches and combinations is to set up and attack open areas, right? We're not throwing them just to throw them. We're throwing the jab cross, getting their hands together, and coming around and throwing the hook. That's the whole point of why we do it. So what areas are open depend very much on what your opponent does, how they react. There are many variables there. They can react in almost infinite ways. So you want to learn how to throw punches to the open spots, and that's why practicing lots of different combinations, practicing flowing between punches, chaining punches together is very valuable. Even if you might think, well, I'm not really going to throw an uppercut and an overhand. Yeah, you might. That might be the best opportunity you get to hit someone and knock them out. So you want to make sure that you can do that. Of course, you want to practice the fundamental combinations more, right? They're more common, you're going to throw them more. You can practice them more, but you don't want to get stuck in a rut throwing those because that also becomes predictable, right? If my opponent knows that I like to just go jab, cross, hook, right? They're going to be ready for it. They're going to think about it. If I start to do some things that are a little bit different, then maybe my jab, cross, hook becomes more effective because it's not as predictable. So in my book, really, as long as you're using proper form, you're throwing good punches with good habits, you're moving your feet, you're moving your head, engaging your whole body, I wouldn't worry so much from a training perspective about whether a combination is realistic. Same thing too, even with the longer combos, right? You might throw it, or even if you don't, you practice chaining those punches together so that whatever you have to throw, whatever the open spot is, you're good at hitting it fast, you're good at reacting to it fast. That is my musing, so I declare this video over.